People say you cannot escape your destiny. So, do we believe in destiny, or do we believe in free will? There's been a debate for centuries, people um, in religion, talking about one point of view versus the other. I think what it comes down to is we have an author, and we have the author, the authority that has been writing the story, and that is called his story. The reason why people cannot escape their destiny is because they cannot escape their lines, their characters. One character is supposed to be a certain way, and the other characters are supposed to be another way. And if you pay close attention, you will see that when we go to the movies, we see the same story playing out. It's a story of good versus evil, a story of somebody has to win. There is not such a thing as a reconciliation between good and evil, because in reality, good and evil cannot exist without each other. Good and evil are one. We should not be thinking that we have to eliminate evil. We in reality have to embrace evil, embrace goodness, and put them in check. But this message is not for everybody, because not everybody can understand, not everybody is ready for what is next. People go to the movies week after week to see the same story play out. It's always about Alita saving the world. It's about Rambo saving the world. About, every movie you can think of. The X-Men, Superman, Batman. Oh my gosh. I am tired of going to the movies to see the same thing, just different actors. My great-grandfather he owned a very, very big company. And because of what I saw and how he lost everything, I've come to realize that under the rules of this game, the rules of this story, good is not really, let's call it good, is not able to dominate, because if you build your business, quote unquote, the right way or the fair way, then eventually, if your business gets really, really big and really successful, like it happened to my grandfather, there will be people who are interested. There might be countries who are interested in your resources, and they might come up with ideas of sending thieves or creating wars to take what is yours, because they are afraid. What are you going to do next? Because money is power, and with money you can change the world. This is the reason why the majority of people cannot win the lottery. Because if you have $100 million or euros, you can change this world in a small way, but significant way, especially if you got the intelligence. So most of the people are never going to win the lottery. Most of the people are going to stick to their predestination because they're going to follow the walls, the laws, the boundaries. You see, wall and law is actually the same thing. They're going to be listening to the authority. Oh, wait, authority is actually author, the one who wrote the story, that is writing his story. Some others will go ahead and resort to stupid things like violence, which is part of the story. That's all it is. They're just playing out their character. And then some will realize that the pen is mightier than the sword. They will realize that being able to write your own story, my story, will change his story. Because then you're no longer a character, but you are the author. You got the power. You're no longer the Pinocchio, but you've become real. Ironically, in this world, there's a few reals, right? We know that. I mean, according to the story, they tell us the reals, they wear crowns. They don't work. They live off the taxes of other people. Well, they do pretend to work. They pretend that they are involved in charity and they represent the country to help in matters of war or in matters of civil unrest. All of this is part of the story. What it comes down to is, are you going to become a real person, or are you going to continue to be non-real, a fictitious character? Well, there's some people who believe in magic and others, the majority, who don't, because the majority believe what those who have written the story have told the characters. There's no such a thing as magic. There's only science. And in fact, let me show you how science does this. They show you a couple of things and then you believe that science always does the checking and making sure that it's not a superstitious belief, but is actually based on truth. That's what they want you to believe. And so you believe them because now they show you once that they checked for the truth, and now you believe the other 99% of the times they do check it. You believe the trick. You believe the lies. So you can believe what they say, or you can do your own research, which is what I have done. I write my story every day. Every day I write my story. That I am rich, that I enjoy life, that I'm growing younger and that I'm making the people younger, that I stop the violence and the pain, the diseases in this world. This is what I do. And what is it that I have seen? My world around me is changing. This is what I have seen. You see, my grandfather lost his business because a war was created to take his business. And so I know what it's like to catch a glimpse of being very rich and to enjoy fully poverty. Oh yes, it is very difficult to have people who serve you and to later on to be the servant, right? But only knowing the pain of those who serve and knowing the joy of those who are served, one can create a better world. Are you going to become the author, the authority? Or are you going to write your story and because it didn't happen the next day and you're going to give up writing, spelling it out, right? So difficult to write. I've been doing this for some time. I declared my intent to the world, to the universe, by spilling one drop of my blood on what I wrote. My intention is to bring heaven on earth. My intention is to control this world. Yes. I do not pray to say, your will be done. I always say, my will be done in heaven and on earth. I am not afraid of being rich, and I'm not afraid of taking control of this world. I'm looking forward to this. And what's the first thing I want to do when I take over the world? I will abolish death. That is my first intention. The second intention is to abolish disease. And the third one, I think when we are able, we have to stop killing each other. What I mean is, animals should be no longer eaten. The problem is, at this moment, our bodies need animal protein. I'm sorry. I tried the vegan way. It doesn't work. But in my heaven to come, when no longer disease affects us, when we don't die, there will be no more eating of other fellows, other animals. I am the author of the new story. His story abolished. And that has, in my book, has been abolished for a really long time. Because my role is determined by my writing. I am the author, the authority, the supreme authority. I took this picture while I was in Venice. Nice place. It was a really warm day. I was running around the city and didn't take the best pictures I could have taken. But I can say we have the power. Our blood has the power to change this world. I invite you to unite with us, blood over intent. Create your heaven. Help me to bring happiness, to make happiness a standard in this world, and not suffering. Not watching how some are so rich and the majority just serve them. Let's all be happy. Let's create this. Let's make this a better world. Love to all.